Okay, so this video is to show you how we can use Excel to calculate mean and standard deviation of the data set that we were given. And this again is the data for the shell thickness of the snail in the environments of with crabs and the environment without crabs. And so what I've already gone ahead and done is entered in labels for my two columns, column A and column B. You can see this one is labeled with crabs and this one is labeled without crabs. And I've entered in my 12 data points according to the document that you received in class that's also posted on Blackboard. So those are the 12 data points for with crabs. These are the 12 data points without crabs. So make sure you enter those into your Excel file. But I already went ahead and did that to save us time in this video. And so then what we're going to do is I'm going to create a data table of statistics. And first we've got our mean. We're going to calculate our mean for both sets of data and our standard deviation. So I'm going to say this is with crabs, and this column represents the stats on without crabs. I'm going to go ahead and expand this so we can see the full labels. So to calculate the mean, I'm going to go ahead and click on the cell that I want the mean to be represented in. And what it's going to do is insert the mean once we tell it what data points to calculate. So if I click on f of x or insert function, I wanted to calculate the average or the mean. In Excel it's called the average. We call it mean in statistics and in IB Bio. So let's call it average. Let's click on average, click on OK, and it's going to tell us, it's going to ask us to insert the range of cells that we want to pull data from. So if I click on this gray or blue button, I'm going to click on this top value and scroll all the way down and then unclick or let go, so that this whole set of data, these 12 data points, are used to calculate the average. So it's going to sum up these values and then divide by 12. So if I click on this gray button, it's going to take that data in. So we're using all the data between cells A2 and A13. I'm going to go ahead and click OK, and what Excel has done is entered in my mean for the shell thickness in the environment with crabs. I'm going to do the same thing for this data, for the data of the shell thickness in the environment without crabs. So again, really quickly, I'm going to click on insert function, average. I'm going to pull my data points. I'm going to select them and hit enter or hit OK, and I've got my mean for without crabs. And then you calculate my standard deviation. So I'm going to do that first with my environment with crabs. So I'm going to go to insert function. I've already got it here. You see stdev. But in case that is not a function that you've used most recently on your computer, I would go ahead and type in standard deviation. Click on go. And we've got several standard deviation options, but again we're picking stdev, standard deviation. Click on OK, and again pull the cells or select the cells that you want it to pull the data from. Select those cells, hit OK, and it's entering in our standard deviation value for with crabs, and we'll do the same thing for the environment without crabs. And this time it should have been in your recently used formulas. Alright, and so now we've got our mean and our standard deviation, and that's what you need.